Can you giggle and eat cornflakes at the same time? Little Miss Giggles could. Do you giggle while you're asleep? Little Miss Giggles did. Can you giggle while you're brushing your teeth? Little Miss Giggles could. She was the giggliest girl in the world, and she lived in Chuckle Cottage. But one terrible day last summer, you'll never guess what happened. She lost her giggle. Just like that. Gone! She had woken up giggling, as usual. She had giggled her way downstairs, as usual. And she had giggled while she was having breakfast, as usual. But, while she was out walking in the woods around Choco Cottage, she realized that she wasn't giggling. She stopped. That's odd. Now, ordinarily, she would have giggled to herself, but not today. She tried. Nothing happened. She tried again. Nothing happened again.
Oh dear!
And, as she walked along, a little tear trickled down her cheek. She met Miss Happy, who was out for her usual morning stroll.
Hello, little Miss Giggles. How are we today?
But then she noticed her sad little face.
What's happened? You're the happiest person I know. Next to myself, of course.
I've lost my giggle.
Lost your giggle?
Miss Happy scratched her head.
Well, we just have to find it again, won't we?
Little Miss Giggles nodded, but not very hopefully.
Come on!
She seized her by the hand and took her off to see Mr. Funny.
There's nobody like Mr. Funny for a giggle.
But it was no use. Mr. Funny tried and tried to produce a giggle, even a chuckle, or even a smile, but little Miss Giggles just couldn't.
Tell you what, I'll tell you my very latest joke. Made it up myself. Very funny.
He could hardly get to the end of his joke for laughing, and when he had finished, both he and Miss Happy nearly fell over. They were laughing so much. But not little Miss Giggles.
It's no use. I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life. I know I am. Oh no! I'll have to change my name.
And she started to cry again. Big fat tears.
Oh dear me.
So Miss Happy took her to see Miss Topsy-Turvy to ask her advice.
Morning, good.
And then he caught sight of little Miss Giggles' sad face.
Matter the what?
She always spoke back to front. Miss Happy explained what had happened.
Dear oh. Doctor, the seat to her take.
She took her straight away to see Dr. Makewell. Miss Happy told the doctor all about little Miss Giggles' lack of giggle.
Put out your tongue. Not you, you silly Billy. Looks all right to me. Open your mouth. You're right. Not a giggle inside. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do for you. You'll just have to wait for your giggle to come back.
Poor little Miss Giggles. Miss Happy took her home, and even she by this time was not looking her cheerful self. What a sorry sight, don't you think?
Why don't you try to giggle?
Little Miss Giggles opened her mouth.
Ha ha ha. Hey hey hey. Ho ho ho.
It was no use. No use at all.
I'm sorry, I can't help.
And as little Miss Giggles went sadly through her front door, she went home to think. The best idea came to her while she was having lunch. She rubbed her hands with glee.
Tee-hee!
And later that afternoon, she knocked on the front door of Choco Cottage.
Who's there?
It's me. I have a present for you.
Little Miss Giggles, looking thoroughly miserable, opened the door.
Here you are.
And she handed her a large box. On top of the box, in large letters, it said, 1 giggle, medium size, this side up, handle with care. Little Miss Giggles looked at the box in amazement.
What is it?
It is what it says it is. You lost your giggle, so I've got you another one. That giggle cost me a lot of money.
Little Miss Giggles opened the box.
But there's nothing in it.
No, of course not. Giggles are invisible.
But that's absolutely ridiculous.
Is it?
Of course it is.
She giggled. She giggled!